The only thing keeping you separate from God, the only thing keeping you separate from enlightenment and self-realization is you're commenting on life. Because if you think about it like this entire universe, all that we know of as physical life, this universe and every single other one, is like a universal mind. It's like a universal bubble of a mind. And in that mind, other little minds have popped out. And we call these souls, or whatever you want to call them. So all these little lives have popped out of this universal mind. And in it, these individual minds have popped out. Don't fall in love with my writing. And so this is one way you can look at it, is that we're all in this same universal mind. We're all in God, but we're having our own little individual experience with free will and our own ideas and our own creativity and our own flavor to express how we wish. But we've come from and will return to the same universal mind, the same God, the same heaven, the same state of common ground, the same balance. Another way of seeing this is everything moves out, expands and contracts from the same space, from the same energy, from the same intelligence. And so if you're someone who prays a lot, if you're someone who feels like no one's listening to you, if you feel like you're alone or these kind of things, just realize that the only thing keeping you in that state is you're commenting on life. And your commenting on life draws you in to an emotional state. And then that emotional state becomes your natural state, or the state that you feel is natural. And then you keep commenting and you keep living in that and keep living very negatively, or whatever. And it keeps you away from this state. It keeps you out here floating in your own belief that you're separate from creation, in your own belief that you're one little individual mind and no one can help you, no one knows who you are, no one can save you, it's just you. That's not reality. You're a little mind, a part of a universal mind. And so learning to tap back into that will help you guide yourself back home. It will help you realize who and what you truly are. And essentially, that's enlightenment. That's self-realization. Understanding like what you really are, this little particle of existence, having this individual experience, watching this guy on your phone or your computer or your TV on YouTube, chatting to you through a screen. You're having this little particle of an experience, not recognizing that you really are a part of the entire thing. Like you're one little cell from it. But in the same way, you are it. You've been wrapped up in your own little idea of individuality. And when you let go of that idea, it unravels itself. And it's like one of these bubbles pop. And what used to be in the center of this bubble is no more. Now, it's just a universal mind again. And so when we look at this example of expand, which is the expansion, and then the contraction, we can see that all life is moving out and back in to silence, moving out and back in to stillness. I'm pretty sure it's the Christians who said, and first there was the word, or first there was the sound, or something like that. The Hindus have Om, right? So just this understanding that life is just a reverberation, coming out and going back in, coming out and going back in, expressing and then contracting. But this baseline is like a universal intelligence. This is a universal intelligence, a universal mind, that these little individual bubbles of life, particles of life that we are, can tap back into, can consciously tap back into, rest, and then go back out again, skillfully. Instead of just going out and getting lost, you go out and then come back here, you rest here for as long as you need, until you feel the spontaneous urge to act again. I actually can't even remember what the point of this video was, but if anything, let it serve as a universal reminder a universal reminder for every human being watching this video right now, which is, I'm assuming, the only people watching this video right now, that you have come out of a universal intelligence that you can tap back into. You're not alone in this. You can tap back into that and have all the information, all the knowing, all the guidance you need, all the support and love you need. And that's what God is. It's that underlying support system that's holding up this entire creation. And then we come up with our own beliefs and our own abstract ideas as to what God is and how we can attain God again and how we can go sit with God after we leave these bodies. But perhaps the whole answer was in silence, was in stillness, was beneath the reverberations that we're getting so entangled in. And then, once we learn, I'm going to rest here first, and then move forward, we can see that our life becomes so much more skillful, beautiful, joyous, connected, united, and all these words. It becomes exactly what we could have dreamed it to be, beyond what we could have dreamed it to be, because it's being guided by a universal intelligence that is far greater than our own. So again, I say, if you are finding that no one's listening to you when you pray, or that God isn't real, or that you have to act like a perfect human to get into a place called heaven, or you have to have this belief or that belief, maybe just realize that it's actually universal. It's actually universal. Your pathway home is universal. And maybe it's silence. Maybe it's behind all the talk. Maybe it's behind all the beliefs. Maybe it's behind all the arguing and frustration and anger and fear and sadness. It's actually just right there. But first you need to learn how to tap into that and bring yourself to that. And then once you do, it's there. If you'd like to learn how to do that, check out our other videos. I give meditation techniques in those. We have a third eye video that could be particularly helpful for that. Otherwise, you can join our school community. You can read my book, Common Ground. I can plug this and plug that. But anyways, all you gotta do is sit in silence and the answers are all there.